Okay, there's something I need people to understand because I know I've been posting about a lot of election tomfoolery, but okay, listen to me. So, I know people are calling us blue nun, people are calling us crazy, delusional, whatever, okay? Um, here's the underlying theme to this, and I think when people kind of understand what I'm talking about, you'll realize, because I've had to explain it to people that I'm like, no, 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 no. Okay, one of the biggest tenets of fascism is that they want you to obey in advance. In fact, a lot of times they don't have issues with people complying because they'll do it ahead of time. The majority of the country is doing it right now by shunning, calling us Delulu, whatever. You're complying in advance. They've already tried to push to see because the reason why we're not being delusional, the data from this election doesn't match any data, like the actual numbers do not match any previous cycles. There's a data anomaly that tends to be in data coming out of the cold R country for their last like 10 election cycles because, Daddy Vladdy has taken over and will not leave, okay? It started to develop this anomaly. There's a creator on here who talks about her two cats, okay? This data anomaly has a specific name. I don't want to say it on here because I don't want it to get moderated. But she looked at the hard numbers from this particular beauty pageant cycle and saw this same data anomaly in our data. So that is the thing. We're not basing this. For a minute, it was kind of on vibes. I'm not going to lie. That I feel you on that. But once the numbers and the hardcore facts came back and we looked at the data and was like, oh, holy fuck, that's when it shifted from being a vibes only kind of halfway delulu situation to an actual situation in which we were realizing that they were pushing us to see how far we would comply in advance. Because you see, most of this country has failed this test, regardless of if you are on the blue team or the red team. They already know that you will comply in advance because you're ignoring the numbers. You're ignoring the data. You're ignoring the data anomalies. You're complying in advance. Challenger and Chernobyl were situations where people had complied in advance and also engaged in groupthink. The reason for not obeying in advance is to not engage in groupthink. Groupthink is when everybody only thinks one way and does not question their authority at all. And a lot of times people die as a result of not questioning authority, mostly because you don't think outside the box. Nobody looks at it from a different angle. That's why there is DEI initiatives in companies, so that people don't miss giant red flags, because it has literally killed people throughout history. Chernobyl's another example. The USSR, they were not allowed to question authority. Same result. In fact, like a big chunk of the Ukraine was like not obliterated, but is now completely useless. It's not that we're delusional, we are not complying in advance. I also think that's why we have Dior bags in the sky. They're looking to see how far we will go, what we will believe, without questioning. Unfortunately, a rather large chunk of this country has failed the test because you're not questioning the numbers. You're not questioning the data from the beauty pageant. You're not questioning any of it. You're not looking in the books. We're literally looking at the data anomalies and the law, like manuals, to see where these things line up. Are there laws about it? Are there not laws about it? What has to be in place before those laws can be activated or enacted? Yeah, this isn't what people think it is. It isn't based on vibes anymore. It is literally based on numbers and our refusal to comply in advance. Unfortunately, the majority of this country, when they roll this shit out, they're going to just fall lockstep behind. They keep testing us and we keep failing.